the quick selection tool. The quick selection tool is the fourth tool down in your tool panel. To select a subject, you would ensure that the plus sign is selected. When the plus sign is selected, go to your canvas and begin selecting the area. In this case, we're going to go ahead and select the subject's whole body, but if you can tell, it also selected the backdrop as well. So you have two options. You can A, hold down your Option key and deselect. So if you notice right here in this area, I still have a little bit of the backdrop that's still selected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Option, make my selector tool smaller by hitting the bracket buttons. And even though part of the hand was deselected, I can always go back and reselect it. If you don't even want to get this little piece of shirt right here. Another way that I can deselect is also going up to the panel and selecting the minus for the deselect. Now my subject is selected. There's certain parts that you may have to go back in and get a smaller brush and select specific areas that you want to select. A little bit of canvas right here. Once you have your subject selected where you want it, and once you have your subject selected the way you want, you can Command J, and your selection is right here. And you can go ahead and do whatever you want, whether or not you add words behind them, add a new color behind them. You can do anything you choose. Let's say, for instance, we want to put a white layer behind them. You can put a white layer behind them. As stated in a previous tutorial, you can come in here and change the fill color. If you want to add a little depth to it, just come in, get a nice size brush, put a little bit of white behind them. Yep. So that right there is a quick selection tool. I also want to go over another way to select your subject. Another way to select your subject is especially when you got a backdrop like this right here, which is almost like a crimson. But what you can do is come up here to select, color range, and basically it starts you with a color picker. Come right here to the crimson, and the crimson is selected, and you can invert. As you can see, your subject is now selected, and you can Command J, and voila, your subject is right there. Of course, there's just a little tad bit of crimson in the background, which really won't affect too much. But you can go in there with your eraser tool and pretty much take that out for the most part. Or I'm gonna do this again. Go to select, color range, and you can come over to your fuzziness and increase it or decrease it. In this case, we would go from I believe 79 up to about 84, and we'll see what we get. And as you can see, there's less red on the corners. So but you also have to be careful because sometimes you can get a little bit of the fingertips or other parts of their outfits that may contain the colors. So let me go back. And voila. That is the quick selection tool.